Hey everybody, this is issue here in a different station play right now. Trying to fix that at this moment. Alright, just give me a second, folks. Hey there everybody, this is Thrice with Thrice's Daily Download. I do apologize about that inconvenience. This is only our second day, so we're still working out all the bugs. I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay there. So we're going to jump right into the news brief here. We're going to start with tech. And so in the tech news today, we got texting money. It's a new thing going on with Square and also other applications like Google Wallet, and even the new thing coming out as currency, Bitcoin. Being able to send money at a very convenient way directly to individuals who have access to accounts or even who are just on a basic system as far as like a cell phone computer. It's pretty interesting what's coming out with that. Just a new thing being updated. Also here we're going to do a plug for an app called Podcast. It is an app that you can get for Android users. If you're a listener out there and you want to listen to us on the go, download it onto your phone, download it into your cloud so you can save it, listen to it on any of your devices. That's really the best way to do that. It's going to be Podcast Addict. Really good. You just go download it, click the add button, click the search button, search Freedomizer Radio. It will pull up the whole feed, and then you can subscribe. So it's really easy, folks. Go ahead and download that app, and you can listen to us at any time. All right, so moving on. With the computer pin, it's a new thing coming out in Japan. They are putting out a pin that extends out and does a display on a wall or a whiteboard, and then it has another laser LED. I believe it's those laser keyboards, like it projects the keyboard out and you type, and it picks up on your finger strokes. Amazing, folks. That's going to be something we'll probably be seeing here in the next year to 2 years. But I just had to let anybody out there who's big on new computers, that is a fun thing to know about. And there's also already sensors that you can use interacting with PCs and Mac mainly. If you're using Linux, you got to know how to actually reprogram some stuff or use virtual boxes. And besides that, the sensor technology where you can actually pinch, swipe, expand, zoom in with just your hand gestures, and also by typing using again that I believe it's a laser. I'll have to look into this for future reference. But it's projection of light, basically, and it picks up, it puts a keyboard on whatever surface you're on, and you can actually type with it. Phenomenal, guys. So we're going to move on to social political aspects, get out of tech here. We've got Ferguson update, pretty much getting back to normal, folks. We lost. If you were into freedom and anti-police state, that was a part of the police state that definitely got to keep living on. Aaron Wilson ended up getting, I believe the number is 300,000 by public donations. Some people say KK will get paid vacation. I'm not sure. I don't think he got fired. I know they're still going through the case and everything. But as far as I know, he's definitely well off compared to the family and the people of Ferguson. Very interesting, folks. I'm not sure what to think about it. So we're going to move on to Uber robberies from LA to DC. You got robberies breaking out not only from the riders but the drivers as well. That means that what we're having is people who are drivers using Uber are robbing people, and then people who are riders are robbing drivers. It's just sad. We were just, I was on Proof Negative show, and we were just talking about how it's amazing that people, the ideal of living in a utopia is so hard. And I don't think it's out of reach, but at the same time, you see things like this, you want to smack people. You want to smack people. It's a great service, Uber, everybody, if you haven't heard of it. It's pretty good here in Austin. There isn't a lot of problems with crime when it comes to those kind of things. Most people using Uber, they're trying to make money just like any other entrepreneur out here. So it's basically a cab service that individuals can use. You actually have to have a better car. I think it's 2005 or better. Standards high, but we just need to really have public awareness on these kind of things. So we can't have good things if people are going to ruin them. So moving on, we've got health. Gluten-free is here to stay, everybody. Not really, the idea of gluten-free as in real gluten is bad, and that's a big thing that's starting to come up, is that there is real natural gluten that is actually, most people are gluten intolerant or people have gluten issues. They're told to eat these other grains that have gluten in them. It's just they haven't been modified because they're not main grains like wheat. Wheat has been modified just like corn. First we modified it naturally as humans, and then we modify it with science. So that's a big thing going on with gluten because, like I said, there is gluten in other grains, and that's why some people just don't eat grains at all. But others who have just sensitivities to especially wheat gluten, or the new wheat gluten, I should say, they can eat some of these traditional heirloom gluten, natural gluten seeds. So also moving into diet fads going on right now that are pretty important and causing a big wake is paleo and raw in general. Paleo has to do with more meat, veggies, sticking to minimal fruit and minimal carbs. Some people say no dairy. It's very controversial. I actually myself practice a more primal paleo mix. I don't like titles, but just so you can get an understanding of what I do. There is raw, which again, primal, going into the raw meat, and people who eat raw meat only, and some greens. I can see there's a benefit for that in some ways, but for me, I know my body, I need to have veggies on a regular basis and a little bit of carbs, and definitely dairy is a big thing in my diet, raw dairy or low pasteurized dairy. It's a big thing that's coming public is this whole raw consumption, raw unwashed eggs. In Europe, there are parts that it's actually illegal to wash eggs because you remove the bloom, and there's more chances for salmonella, and that's why they have to refrigerate them in America. You can actually leave eggs out for almost 2 months with the bloom still on it, and it should still be good. After that month time, depending on the heat, you do have issues, but if you're inside, it's around 70 to 80 degrees, you can leave them out for definitely 2 weeks or more. So that's another great nutrient-dense substance when you get organic, raw, grass-fed, well, not grass-fed, but naturally fed free-range chickens. And to get local is an amazing thing. I actually get ungraded and raw milk. So ungraded eggs, raw milk, amazing. Definitely changes your amount of food you have to eat when you do more nutrient dense. And I'm bringing these up because I can give you my opinion from experience. And I know for me it's helped a lot of digestive issues, and that's really all there is right now, folks. There's not a lot of science backing it. They've done research studies that have showed that with more of a paleo Atkins-esque diet, where you're still having some carbs, there is a change of the metabolic structure, and it's not so much just about the weight, folks. It's about the fat and the excess fat, like the internal fat that builds up around your organs and everything like that. Those things are what you want to get rid of. Weight isn't the issue, guys. It's really about health. So that's the interesting thing about going back to what we're supposed to eat. And it's not just our ancestors like cavemen. Our ancestors only 100 years ago ate raw food and also low-cooked food or dehydrated food. There's certain ways they cooked it. They don't flash cook it. They don't microwave it. And that's a big problem we're facing nowadays, folks. All right, in health as well, we're going to jump into, there's an Ebola scare. Got this from one of our people from Freedomizer Radio. The media is really not reporting supposedly that there's 3 different strains that they're expecting, and it's spreading in different ways instead of just the original ways that Ebola is supposed to spread. And they're talking about ridiculing the term quarantine, which we all, I don't know, growing up, I've always heard quarantine as being a good thing. So anybody who's ridiculing that, I feel very strongly that that's a bad thing. And they're saying that's why this disease is spreading. And if you don't know, folks, Ebola is an outbreak that's occurring overseas right now in Africa, and it's spreading across Europe. There is a lot of reports coming that it is another genetically modified medical terrorism. And I know that's hard to take, you guys, but the reality is we are at war, and it's not just a physical war, it's a war. Hey folks, sorry about that. Dropped out for a minute. Again, this is our second show, trying to work on getting everything set up so it works properly, making sure you guys can hear me correctly, and also make sure to stay on the air. So thank you for bearing with me, folks. I hope everything is good from here on out. So again, I'm just going to continue here. International news. We've got Palestinians are starting to celebrate because of Gaza peace agreement between Hamas and Israel. That's a great thing, of course. You know, less dying is always a wonderful thing. Who knows how long that's going to last. Russia is still pushing forward, something that isn't always talked about. Could it be that they're just acting like another American police force? You know, is it really a bad thing that they're trying to push their way across to infiltrate other countries? We do it, you know, and that's my biggest argument. I'm not saying whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying, how can we get mad at somebody for doing what we do? So that's just another thing going on nowadays. China, super sub. This is some news that's been released on the underground. There is a sub that can get here pretty fast from China to LA. I think it's like 2 hours. So just a fun thing to think about. Super sub, awesome. And then a fun fact, international news, Burger King, kind of local, Burger King is going to Canada. You know, I'm not going to talk about much with this. We were talking on a negative show about this. I think Burger King should go to Canada and McDonald's should go to China. And we should say peace to all of them. You know, introduce some organic. So what I'm going to do, folks, is we're going to go into a commercial break here. And then I'm going to...
Is a religion, a spirituality to serve God, thousands of years old. Zionism is only around.
Did you know most Americans know nothing or very little about the legal system? I am the Rose Colombo, longtime legal activist, legal coach, legal advocate, and the author of Fight Back Legal Abuse, Irwin Award winner, and also my latest political satire, Obamacare, Dinosaurs, Rednecks, and Radicals, a political satire exposing the evil agendas of Obamacare and redistribution of wealth that leaves you with a thought-provoking ending. Will mankind survive, or will the U.S. natural-born citizens become extinct? It's available at Amazon.com.